And clear skies from our Valley Cam and the Tulare outlets in Tulare. The breezes are still there, not as strong. They could be up around 15 miles per hour still in the overnight hours. Right now, it's just 10 miles per hour in Fresno. We're at 54 degrees, already in the 40s in Madera, Lemoore, Visalia, and also in Porterville. And our live radar showing our skies to be clear. They're going to be clear for the next several days. Now, a little bit of a breeze, 15 miles per hour at the most. That'll be with us on Wednesday and Thursday, but we will get slightly warmer, and the 80s do return this weekend. I'll have your complete forecast coming up. Ksee 24 News at 11 starts right now.
Local news that matters. This is Ksee 24 News at 11.
Some cases, that might not meet our standard for justice as it stands today.
A new proposed bill that could get some felons off of California's death row early, now moving forward in the state legislature. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Alexander Balaki, and much more on this top story in a moment, but we begin with some breaking news tonight, where an Amtrak smashes into a car, killing the driver and leaving the passenger in serious condition. This all happened near Conejo and Peach, just east of Carruthers, around 6 o'clock tonight. The CHP says the driver of a Nissan Versa traveling westbound on Conejo tried to go around the crossing arms but was then struck by the train. The driver, a man, died at the scene. A woman passenger sustained major injuries. The train did come to a stop as it was carrying over 1,000 passengers. No one suffered any injuries, but a couple of them were shaken up.
Yes, there are passengers on board. We had one passenger suffer a panic attack and receive medical aid. All the other people on board were uninjured.
It is unknown at this time if drugs or alcohol played a role in the crash. Also tonight, a new controversial proposed state law that could free some death row inmates has a pair of local DAs lashing out at lawmakers today. Senate Bill 94, if passed into law, could have some cases reviewed and potentially resentenced if they committed their crime before June 5th of 1990 and spent at least 20 years of their sentence in prison. The Madera County DA says there's already a process for people to review their sentences.
We already have a lot of laws in place that allow people to have their sentences revisited and reviewed.
Meantime, the author of the bill says times have changed and the law has to change with it.
Some cases, that might not meet our standard for justice as it stands today.
Now, the proposed law did pass the Senate Public Safety Committee in a 4-to-1 vote. It was now referred to the Senate Appropriations Committee. From there, it could advance to a vote on the state Senate floor. A traffic stop in Madera turns up meth and stolen mail. A Madera police officer pulled over 3 men this morning. He learned they all had criminal records for theft. The officer then searched the car and found meth, burglary tools, and a large amount of stolen mail. All 3 men are facing multiple charges. Tulare County's Disaster Recovery Center is now open to those whose lives have been turned upside down by this year's flooding. The Farmersville Civic Center is now a one-stop shop for flood recovery resources in the South Valley, where the operation is being run by FEMA and the Small Business Administration in an effort to get people back on their feet after the devastating floods. The Recovery Center looks to make people feel welcome as they get back on their feet.
Residents can apply for what is the individual assistance. For example, they can have like a temporary housing. They can have funds to repair their homes. They can also have funds to clean up.
Levels of aid vary on a case-to-case basis, and you won't find out what you qualify for until you do apply. The center in Farmersville open from 9 in the morning to 7 at night, Monday through Saturday. And starting next week, debris removal will begin in Tulare County for those with flood damage. This is for the areas of Cutler, Yokohama Valley, and the Springville area. You're asked to place it curbside at the edge of the road in front of your home. It should be placed away from trees, poles, and fire hydrants. For more information on the debris removal, all you have to do is head to our website, yourcentralvalley.com. A scary sight in Lower Manhattan today when a parking garage collapsed, killing at least one person and injuring 5 others. Turns out it had dozens of violations dating back decades. The garage had 64 violations dating back to 1976. It's not clear why the 4-story parking garage collapsed into the basement today, but 4 of the violations are still open and unresolved, even though they were issued years ago. A city spokesman says the violations will be reviewed to understand the history of the building. The legal battle between Fox News and Dominion Voting Systems is now over, with the network having to fork over nearly $800 million. Lawyers for Dominion say the settlement came in at $787.5 million. Dominion accused Fox News of knowingly airing and spreading false and damaging claims that the company rigged the 2020 election in favor of Joe Biden. The voting machine company says Fox News hosts defamed them and sought $1.6 billion in damages originally. Fox News argued they were expressing their First Amendment right. Well, the battle between House Republicans and the White House over the debt ceiling heating up. House lawmakers working to save the country from a possible financial disaster. As of right now, they are not close to a deal, where House Speaker and Valley Congressman Kevin McCarthy says his party will advance their budget plan despite what they call President Biden's refusal to negotiate on spending cuts. Republicans say Biden's Inflation Reduction Act has to be rolled back or else. Democrats say the GOP raised the debt ceiling 3 times under former President Donald Trump.
Because that's going to destroy our economy.
Why is this any different? Why is it only different when a Democrat holds the White House?
And the Treasury Department says it's going to have a better idea of when the U.S. could default on its debt once this year's income tax receipts are added up. A local company starting to produce more environmentally friendly compost while keeping contamination away from its crops. For the past year, Mid-Valley Disposal in Kermit has been retrofitting a new machine that separates organic food waste from plastic packaging. The $1.6 million project was partially funded by a $1 million grant from Cal Recycle. The process taking place now gives new purpose to food waste from around the valley.
We're able to take that organic matter and introduce it to our green waste and mix it and blend it for compost processing here in Kermit.
The process to produce this more nutritious blend of compost for crops takes about 8 weeks. Coming up, local veterans in the nation's capital for this year's Central Valley Honor Flight.
I just tried to forget it. It was hard sometimes. The biggest problem I had was when we had people coming home, veterans coming home that were deceased.
How the trip is helping one local hero actually touching our nation's history. Also, historic rainfall continues to cause flower super blooms around much of the state.
Well, your weather headlines for tonight: no new rain in the forecast, but the breeze will remain with us for a couple of more days. The clouds are on their way out even as we speak, and all that sunshine that's coming our way will push us back into the 80s this weekend. Your 4-day allergy forecast, brought to you by Boz Allergy, will be in the high range into the weekend. Oak, birch, and maple, the predominant pollens. And I'll have your complete forecast as KC 24 News continues.
This is KC 24 News at 11 with Stephanie Barugian, Alexandre Balakian, and the certified most accurate forecast with AMS certified Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox. Your local weather authority, KC 24, local news that matters.
A medical mission just returned from Lebanon. Valley donations delivered to earthquake survivors at the Syrian border, and specialists visited Beirut to help people in need. Join me Thursday, 7 p.m. as I take you on an incredible journey that highlights a family committed to healing, innovative medical techniques, and desperate needed aid for poverty-stricken communities. The Valley's Armenia Mission to Lebanon, Thursday on KC 24, sponsored by Fashion Furniture, Ventura TV, and Fresno Suit Outlet.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The thoughtfully redesigned 2023 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. a 260 horsepower turbocharged engine, advanced technology, and an extra-large touchscreen. The 2023 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you.
Get to Subaru of Fresno, where every new Subaru comes with complimentary maintenance included.
Tonight, Jimmy has Ana de Armas playing Factionary. Plus, Jesse Plemons, the Jonas Brothers with musical stairs, and We Tweet.
It's not butter, it's not scotch. What the hell flavor is butterscotch?
And tomorrow, Michelle Obama, Newfoundland.
There's nothing we haven't seen, from a broken spring to a garage door on a car. Precision never hires subcontractors. We're always same-day service from our own highly trained technicians.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
If you want to walk away with more money at the end of your case, choose Jacoby & Myers at the start of your case. At Jacoby & Myers, we get our clients up to 10 times the original insurance offer. Choose Jacoby & Myers.
Do something positive. Make an appointment at donateblood.org.
Now, AMS certified Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox with your local weather authority forecast.
Well, the temperatures, they did come down a little bit today compared to yesterday because of the breeze, and so we're into below normal territory yet again. Our morning low was 46, afternoon high was only 20 degrees warmer than that. Both numbers are below average. We're at 54 right now in Fresno, 50 in Hanford, 41 in Madera, 49 in Visalia, and compare that to 24 hours ago. It's a big drop in Madera, not so much in Fresno, but still cooler. 6 degrees cooler in Hanford, 5 in Visalia. Winds coming out of the northwest still, all less than 15 miles per hour, but that wind could pick up again tomorrow, and it'll still be breezy at times. We still have our wind advisory that's in effect until tonight at 2 a.m. for the Kern County Mountains, desert areas down into Southern California too. Also, we have a flood advisory for the San Joaquin River and the flood warning for the Kings River. Both are basically in place till further notice. We look at our Valley Cam powered by Eagle Mountain Casino. This is a time-lapse photography from on top of our building. We see some of the clouds that have been moving through today. We had a couple of sprinkles earlier in the morning, and then clearing skies, a little more clearing as the sun was just going down over the horizon. It was a beautiful sunset, but you see a little less cloudiness out there right at that time, and so the last little bit of cloudiness is still going to be on its way out. Also, want to share with you one of our new Valley Cams. This is at Eagle Mountain Casino. They are set to open in early May, but they got a whole new facility there, and they're very proud to share that with you. Live radar showing that our skies are very clear right now. We're going to continue to be that. Satellite picture goes further north and seeing some isolated showers into Northern California still. That's going to be clearing out over the next 24 hours for much of California, and so more sunshine and less wind. That would lean toward warmer temperatures, but there's just enough of a breeze to not allow us to get too warm too fast. So it's still going to be chilly tonight. 37 in Delano and Pixley, 36 in Porterville, 39 in Visalia, right at freezing in Dunlap, 40 degrees and 5 points. San Joaquin 39, same in Mendota, Chowchilla, Dos Palos, 40 in Merced, 38 for Los Banos. And a high temperature tomorrow, 68. Then Los Banos, Dos Palos, same, 67 in Chowchilla, Oakhurst 58, 69 and 5 points, Huron, Lemoore, Hanford, Kettleman City, 68 for Visalia, Sequoia National Park, 40 degrees, a 68 in Porterville, 66 in Pixley, and 65 expected in Delano. Our air quality, that is going to be in the good range across the board, no exceptions. Again, that we can thank the breeze for that. And your forecast, your solar forecast brought to you by Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, very high numbers are going to be coming our way, so we should be doing well with our solar panels. 42 will be the overnight low tonight. Still breezy at times. Tomorrow, the same with the breeze. A little bit warmer, just a degree. 67 will be the high, and we'll get a little warmer after that, hitting 72 on Thursday. Then the 80s return on Friday under mostly clear skies and less wind. The warmest day will actually be Saturday, hitting 84, and then a breeze comes back and pushes our temperatures down a little. We're back down to 81 by Monday. Breeze goes away on Tuesday and goes up a degree. So it looks like once we get into the 80s this weekend, we're going to stay there for a while. Your regional forecasts are available on our website at yourcentralvalley.com. So please go check it out. There's some real spring coming our way. Not just a taste of spring. It looks like we get an extended meal.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's what we've been waiting for. And this, because spring is just, well, sprung completely. This never gets old. The wildflowers that are in full bloom. This is in Sacramento, where the fields are really a sea of yellow here. It's just a snapshot of the thousands of massive wildflower blooms all over the state, brought on by really all the rainfall. Is that what your looks like? AJ?
At my yard?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all weeds, but they're colorful weeds.
There you go. Coming up next in sports, a familiar face returns to Margie Wright Diamond this weekend. Andrew Martin with this story tonight. Andrew.
That's right, Alexon. The Nevada Wolfpack is in town this weekend, and that means Linda Garza will be in town. I talked with the former Fresno State head coach this morning. We'll hear from her next in Sports Central.
Know an inspiring educator? Tell us at yourcentralvalley.com. Each week, we celebrate an educator with classroom supplies and honor wall recognition. Educator of the Week, brought to you by EECU, Fresno County Superintendent of Schools, and Tulare County Office of Education.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. CalHope can help. Access CalHope's free and secure mental health resources today. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org.
No matter what's happening outside with the Lennox Ultimate Comfort System, it's always perfect inside. Not just perfect air, perfectly tuned to your home air. And operates whisper quiet.
The Lennox Ultimate Comfort System. Perfect air, fully realized. Don't you wish everything was perfect? Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Call Donald P. Dick Air Conditioning today.
KC 24 News is always available at the new yourcentralvalley.com.
Life is uncertain. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota. Let's go! It's time to spring into adventure. Experience everything that awaits this season in a new Toyota. Get low 3.99% APR financing on the stylish, fuel-efficient Camry. Or lease a Camry for just $379 a month.
Grab the keys, come on, let's go.
Toyota, let's go places.
Now, Sports Central, presented by Toyota.
This weekend, the Fresno State softball team will host Nevada in a 3-game series. The Bulldogs and Wolfpack have a lengthy history. They've played 62 times in the past 20 years. For the past 2 years, the rivalry has been personal for Linda Garza. On Friday, the Nevada head coach will coach at Margie Wright Diamond for the first time since she was Fresno State's head coach. From July of 2016 through June of 2021, Linda Garza was the head softball coach at Fresno State.
And I take a lot of pride in the 5 years that I spent there and the things that we were able to build and the things that we were able to do.
161 wins, a Mountain West championship, and 2 appearances in the NCAA tournament. It was not her choice to leave Fresno State, but she moved on, accepting the head coaching job at Nevada weeks after her time at Fresno State ended.
I have nothing but respect for anybody who wears that uniform. You know, I grew up a Valley kid. I'm never going to lose my Valley ties.
Linda Garza attended Hoover High School, which is literally within walking distance of Margie Wright Diamond. She'll have quite a few family members in attendance this weekend for her first game in Fresno in 2 years.
I've been a visitor most of the time in my career in 21 years when I've headed into that stadium. So, and you know, it's kind of ironic that coach is also from Reno. Let's not forget that Coach Stacy is from the Reno area. I'm from the Fresno area. So both of us, you know, we both have ties to places we've been, and we both have a lot of respect for one another. And I love that about us, and that's what makes this conference special.
As for the matchup this weekend, Nevada is 26-11 overall, 7-6 in conference. The Wolfpack pitching staff has the conference's lowest ERA, 2.42. Fresno State is 6-7 in conference, and the Bulldogs' best hitter is Keahi Matson, a player who was recruited to Fresno State by Coach Linda Garza. The Bulldog baseball team in Stockton to face Pacific. How about Murph Gray? A 3-run home run in the 5th inning for the Mountain West Freshman of the Week 4 weeks in a row. Bulldogs score 6 in the 5th. They win in 10, 8-7. High school baseball, Bullard hosting Justin Garza on Tuesday. The Knights on a 12-game winning streak. Bottom of the 2nd, no score. Nick Stubblefield hits one to the outfield. It's deep enough for a sac fly. Luke Beal trots home. It's 1-0 Bullard. Later in the 2nd, Trevor Wilson with an RBI single. Bullard wins 8-6 and improves to 15-3. Basketball news. Talia Maxwell from Central was named Cal High Sports Girls State Player of the Year in Division II. Morgan Triguero from Carruthers earns the honor in Division III. Giants lose, Dodgers win, Grizzlies lose, Rawhide win. And that's your look at sports.
I'm Chris Dalton.
And I'm Troy Morris III.
We are the Accelerated Urgent Care drivers. When we are hurt or injured, we do not have time to waste. That's why we choose Accelerated Urgent Care.
With multiple locations throughout the state of California, open 7 days a week, and telemedicine, we can be seen on the road or at home.
Accelerated Urgent Care accelerates past the competition.
Accelerated Urgent Care, expert care on your time.
Get moving in the most fun-to-drive Honda vehicles yet. Like the Civic, the vehicle car and driver called more fun to drive than the competition. And the HR-V, with more style, a more sporty design, and more exhilarating performance. Get moving and find the Honda for you. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
When I got hurt in a car wreck, I had so many questions.
After a car wreck, call us. We'll speak with you for free and answer all your questions.
Dunnion Law got me $450,000.
Call DUNNION.
We all need something different from our home, and sometimes that's just more house. That's why Golden One helps you get more.
You're approved.
From lower rates to expert advice from people who can guide you through the process. So whether it's more space to share a meal or somewhere to entertain new friends, we'll get you into your perfect home. As a not-for-profit credit union, we make sure you get more, so you can be more.
In America, the future belongs to everyone, so we created the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150, available with 9,700 pounds of towing capacity and an interior work surface. It's designed to work hard and smart, because the truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's for America. Ford F-150. Drive one today. Right now, get 0.9% APR for 60 months, plus $1,000 low APR customer cash on Ford F-150. Only at your California Ford dealer.
Now YourCentralValley.com, pros who know.
At United Health Centers, we are open evenings and weekends for all of your after-hour and urgent health care needs. Call or visit our website for hours and locations near you.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know.
The emotion can be overwhelming as local vets relive their heroic moments in defending our freedoms. Tonight, we highlight a Korean War vet who knows this week's Central Valley Honor Flight trip to the nation's capital is a chance for closure after suffering from PTSD. This is 91-year-old Rudy Rutherford. He's just one of dozens of local veterans aboard the 24th Central Valley Honor Flight.
I grew up in Fresno, California. I've lived in Fresno, California all my life. So, except for the 4 years I was volunteering in the Navy.
While serving in Korea, he was assigned to a secret duty for 13 months that included taking spies behind enemy lines on the ground and on river boats.
We had to, anybody that was on the river banks on either side, we had to do away with them and throw them in the river so they would go to sea, and we wouldn't leave any evidence knowing that we were going up there. So that's what I did. I made several trips for that.
Rutherford says he battled with PTSD for years, facing the realities of that duty.
I just tried to forget it. It was hard sometimes. The biggest problem I had was when we had people coming home, veterans coming home that were deceased and have a funeral, and that would bother me because the people that I killed had a mother and a father, maybe a brother, a sister, maybe he was married, maybe he had kids, you know, and he wouldn't be able to go home, and that bothered me.
It was decades later that Rutherford was able to get treatment and the full benefits he deserved, all thanks in part from the help of his city councilman.
And he said, you need to talk about this. He said, you bring your wife with you every time you come here, because she don't know what you did. And she learned a lot about me after we'd been married 50-some years.
Rutherford says he is now able to talk about his service. He expects his trip with the Central Valley Honor Flight to be sentimental, especially the part when he arrives back home at the Fresno airport, with members of the community cheering him on.
Be very emotional. Just like coming home again.
And the veterans are scheduled to return to Fresno Yosemite International Airport tomorrow night, 6:30. The public is invited to welcome them home. It should be a lot of fun as usual. Well, a friendly reminder here on Thursday, Ksee 24 will air a half-hour special about the recent medical mission overseas. It will highlight the work by our local doctors in Lebanon and will include the delivery of the money that we raised during the Ksee 24 earthquake relief telethon for survivors at the Syrian border. You'll be able to catch the special Thursday night, 7 o'clock. A popular Fresno tortilla plant nearly goes up in flames this morning. The Fresno Fire Department responded to calls of a fire at La Tapatía near H Street and Palm Avenue around 7:15. Crews say they found a semi-trailer on fire that was parked outside the business. Sprinklers inside the business kept the fire from spreading. One person was detained by fire investigators at the scene. Still no word on what started the blaze. There were employees working when it did break out, but nobody was hurt. Still to come here, do cattle and mental health go hand in hand? Tonight, some say the answer is yes. Why these cows are being called therapeutic.
I'm Dr. Rowland with Innovative Medical Center. There are so many different chiropractors out there practicing different techniques. We think that we have one of the best ones.
The way I feel now is 100% better than I did before. I didn't know how good it felt to feel good.
What makes us different is that we address the entire body with their aches and pains. We take the pressure off of your nerves, let your body heal itself, and get your body back to as close to near normal as it will allow.
It's time to start living pain-free. Call Innovative Medical Center today.
My main mission is to give patients a breath of fresh care. My specialty is in allergy and immunology. So allergies in the skin is eczema, allergies in the lungs is asthma. And then, of course, immunology is the basic root of asthma. And as long as you have good immune control, these diseases do not move forward with being severe. I trained for this, and I need to help the community, and I know I can deliver on that.
The GMC Sierra with hands-free driving. Yeah, it rocks. Step up to GMC with 0.9% APR for 5 years and no monthly payments for 90 days on 2022 Sierra light-duty crew cab models.
Meet the best Big Mac ever made with more special sauce. I believe you've already met Hamburglar.
Enjoy app-only deals like a $6 Big Mac, double cheeseburger, or McDouble meal.
1,000 positions hiring. Endless opportunity. Benefit from world-class training. A 6-figure starting salary. And make a positive difference in your community. Apply now. Scan the code or visit jointhechp1000.com.
Richie Gamblay here with a special weather report for the month of April. Humidity's rising. Barometer's getting low. It's going to be raining and touching. Not water, but lots of dough. Hallelujah, it's raining. Over $400,000 in cash and prizes. You could be one of 700 promotional winners this month. Leave those umbrellas at home, players, all April long. only at the Tachi Palace Casino Resort. This is 40.
You're invited to the Visalia Chamber of Commerce Impact Leadership Conference, April 20th. Learn about quality leadership and workforce training for Valley business owners and employees. Nationally recognized speakers will focus on workplace skills, personal growth, and community activism. Local experts will talk about leadership trends and offer networking with entrepreneurs. Central Valley employers will be on hand for career advancement opportunities. Don't miss the Visalia Chamber of Commerce Impact Leadership Conference. Call or go online today for information.
Hey everyone, Questlove and I are playing a new game called Bactionary with Ana de Armas. Plus we have Jesse Plemons, stand up for Mike Vecchio, and then a special performance from Jonas Brothers. You gotta watch tonight.
Well, finally, an Oklahoma cattle ranch giving people a chance to hang out with, who else? The cows, and improve their mental health. The Hug a Highlander program lets visitors spend some time with the lovable cows, brush their fur, and even put bows in their hair. The ranch owner says she started letting people visit and take pictures with her cows about a year ago, and, well, it's grown ever since. She also says the cows love the attention, and who doesn't like a good combing and a little bow tie action on their steers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Great weather for petting zoos.
You know, and for us, it is going to be
Right?
very nice to be outside, right? And so the next several days, we're going to get warmer again as the breeze kind of dies down. I'm still calling it breezy Wednesday and Thursday, but the warming trend is definitely apparent, and we're going to get into the 80s on Friday. The warmest day of the week is actually going to be on Saturday at 84, and then the breeze comes back again and pushes us back down, but not too quickly this time. So we're going to keep our high temperatures in the lower 80s right on in through the early days of next week. So it looks like an extended period of real spring weather is going to be coming our way.
Yeah, that's, you know, that's normal though this time of year, right?
That's the kind of stuff we would expect for the end of April, and it's going to be May here in a minute.
I know. Yeah. Let's make sure that summer stays away just a little bit.
As long as we can.
All right. That's going to do it for us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. Good night.
KC24 is your local weather authority, always the most accurate. And now the Chuck Chansey Getaway Forecast gives exclusive regional information for your weekend. AJ Rubin and the Chuck Chansey Getaway Forecast is all you need, and it's all on KC24, your local weather authority.
At Stanton Optical, independent eye doctors are available for eye exams whenever you need one. You should